You have witnessed scenes of horror and destruction, both actual and virtual, on television and computer screens that Henry Thoreau could not possibly have imagined. He never did experience anything like what you have seen in your own lifetime. What Thoreau certainly did understand was man's capacity for both violence and peace, to be both savage and spiritual. He wanted to experience for himself and see in himself both the meanness and the sublime of life, to face reality and record it as truthfully as he could. Sometimes his conclusions may seem to contradict themselves, but he never stopped questioning, never settled for easy answers.
Thoreau acted out a response to the general, universal problem, which has existed for a very long time, of how does the individual human being maintain his humanity, maintain his nature, when the world around him is assaulting his nature.
There's definitely disrespect for human life. There's some of these people who don't value their own life, don't value the lives of other people.
Those are from me picking at my arms. There was something coming out of my arms from the drugs.
Well, it's basically a psychological addiction with cocaine, and when you are psychologically addicted to it, it's like you are ruled. You're basically a slave to it.
If you don't have any self-respect for yourself, how are you going to respect other people? And they don't have any respect for human life because they don't respect themselves. And I think that makes it easier for these younger people who are assaulting and killing one another, these, gang members and things like this.
That should not be a part of something we have to deal with. We shouldn't have to wake up in the morning, read the newspaper, hear about murders and robberies, rapes, all those awful violent crimes. I think violence is something inevitable.
It's in our nature. I don't know why we do it, we just do. I mean, we've been killing each other and laying waste to other nations since we first were created.
Yes, it's true. We live in a violent world, but does that mean we don't have the power to change our tendency for violence? We need to hold ourselves more responsible for the way society is, ourselves meaning people today. Yeah, there's people of the past who have tended our society to go in certain directions. Our evolution maybe plays a part in it, but we play a part in it too, what we say and what we do today.
I think violence is part of human nature. I don't think we could be at the top rungs on the planet without being an aggressive species. We are violent.
Still people who talk about the desire of young men to go to war, the thrill it is for young men to be in war, to shoot their guns, to kill. And I thought about my own experience in the Air Force, and it was very clear to me, looking around at all these guys around me who were dropping bombs and who were killing people, that it did not come from inside. It did not come from, oh God, how good it would be to kill some people today. There was no urge to kill, even though they were the enemy. No, what it came from was simply we had been trained.
Who knows why there's violence? I mean, it's part of the culture, I suppose. Violent movies.
Watch American television. People see that every day.
I think in a way it's natural for humans to like violence and gore. And I guess in a certain way that's done by playing violent video games. Video games let you do something you could never do in real life. And they're just pointing at games because of the Columbine thing. Okay, so the student enjoyed playing Doom. Big deal, he also got teased on all his life. If you want to blame someone, blame the kids that teased him. Blame the parents that put the guns in his hand. How did he get the guns in the first place, There's got to be a reason for it. If you do something bad like that, well, you're going to do it either way. A game isn't going to change that. Listening to Marilyn Manson isn't going to change that.
Then we heard a big bang, and then we saw smoke coming out, and everybody started running out, and we saw the plane on the other side of the building, and there was smoke everywhere.
Everything you got to the World Trade Center now. President, that looked like it was intentional. Inform all units. Going in the box, it could be a terrorist act.
I don't understand what motivates people to take another person's life when you're not in a declared war. I don't understand why people would spend so much time planning to hurt and kill so many people that they never met before.
I find it odd that people can think that we can sit down with somebody who attacked us and ask them not to do it again, you know, not to be terrorists. I mean, obviously they're using violence in a way to show it. Yes, it would be nice if we could do that, but in reality, you know you can't sit down with, you know, Bin Laden or Saddam and be like, could you please not run planes into our towers again? You know, it'd be nice. It's like, all right, obviously we have to come back with something that shows them that, you know what, we're not backing down. We need to make a point.
I followed the orders of the leaders above us, you know, and the president called for us to fight the war in Iraq and fight this war on terror, and I support our president.
And we will not stop until the threat of global terrorism has been destroyed.
I haven't been exposed to a lot of violence and a lot of, you know, bombs and war and stuff, so right now it's kind of chaotic. It's kind of scary because we don't know really what to do.
I know kids in the Marines and I know kids in the Army, so in a way, if I'm like, oh, anti-war, what am I doing to them? I'm giving them no credit for what they gave their life for.
If other countries aren't thriving the way we are, then there's obviously something wrong with the way they're living, and we try and impose our way of living on them, but we have to understand that what we value may not be what they value. We may value material things, they may value family more than anything else. We're not as open-minded as we should be to other cultures, to other countries, religions.
It's shocking for the most part because a lot of us have not really been exposed to war. Like throughout my whole lifetime, the last couple of years has only been the exposure to war. A lot of people who don't live in the USA, you know, see bombs, see death every day.
I kind of think that maybe if people shifted their view of what it means to resolve a conflict, that it's not just about one side winning, about one side conquering the other, one side getting their way, that they'd see that war can never really be a solution to conflict.
As long as you have people with different opinions and people with different beliefs and opposing beliefs, then you're always going to have war. I mean, the world's never going to be perfect.
More people have died anywhere in the world for any reason in the name of their God, whichever one it may be, in some kind of religious conflict. And it's just amazing that all these religions can teach virtually the same aspects, and for some reason they just can't coexist with one another.
You can't make a giant change overnight. There's not going to be world peace overnight. All you can do is make small changes. You know, small changes add up.
It's all about taking advantage of what you have and being appreciative of what you have, because in a split second it could be gone. You never know.
I think that human beings are good. I think individually and collectively we are good. We have the possibility to succeed.
You have to believe in yourself.
We sleep in nice beds, we eat nice food, we have fancy mating situations, and we defend ourselves with great weapons. But if that's kind of what our whole focus is in life, then that makes us just sophisticated animals. It doesn't make us very evolved creatures. You know, I believe that we have much, much greater potential.
I think there is a negative side to humanity that every once in a while can overtake the greater good, which is why dissent is so very important. Even if the majority of people think a certain thing is right at the time.
There's been wars, crime, everything. You have to wonder, how can that ever be changed? How will that ever stop?